Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Nacho Problems, where we turn ordinary recipes into extraordinary nachos. I'm Nacho Queen, but you can call me M. Summer is officially over, but someone forgot to tell my garden that. So I thought we'd try to squeeze in one last recipe to use up my bountiful harvest. So this week we're making BLT Nachos. BLT stands for bacon, lettuce, and tomato and is a popular sandwich here in the US. It's pretty simple, but we're still gonna have some fun with it. Let's get started. Step 1, the cheese. We're going completely out of order this week, just for the heck of it. Mayonnaise is fairly common on a BLT, so that made the most sense when it came to picking a cheese. But there are some really interesting options out there. Yes, this does say aioli, but that's just a fancy term for mayo, and anyone who says otherwise can fight me. I was considering a sriracha mayo or a Dijonnaise, but this one just screamed BLT to me, so we're gonna use it. Now, if you want to see me make homemade mayonnaise, go watch my fish and chip nachos video from last year. But for now, let's move on to Step 2, the toppings. So for our toppings, we're gonna be using two of the three major components of a BLT, namely the L and the T. So here we've got a beautifully ripe tomato and some lettuce from my garden. The lettuce was a late planting, so it's kind of small, but it actually worked really great for this. We're just going to dice both of these up into bite-sized pieces. Now, can we all please take a moment to appreciate just how red this tomato is? I grew that. Me! I've killed a cactus before, yet somehow I grew something that's not only beautiful, but actually tasty? Sorry, I'm gushing. Let's move on. Now, since BLTs are sandwiches, I thought we probably need some bread too. The local store makes a great Italian loaf, so I'm just going to slice a bit of that, pop it into the toaster to give it a little crunch, and then dice it up into bite-sized pieces. And that's our toppings. Now it's time for Step 3, the chips. Okay, so we have the lettuce and the tomato, and even the bread and mayonnaise. So what are we doing with the bacon? Well, friend, I'm glad you asked, because we're turning that into the chips. All we need is some bacon, I recommend thick sliced, and some toothpicks. I also recommend some foil to line your pan because poor Jimmy Buffett had to do some scrubbing to get this one clean. What we're going to do is wrap our bacon around in a spiral shape. This is easiest to do if you make small cuts about 3/4 of the way through the strip at 1 to 2 inch intervals to help it curve while still laying flat. You'll also want to overlap the spiral just a little bit to allow for shrinkage when it cooks. Now just thread a toothpick through the center of the spiral to hold it together while cooking. Then we're going to place these into the oven, cook for 15 minutes at 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 C. Take them out, flip them over, and cook for another 10 to 15 minutes or until crispy. Remove them to a paper towel lined plate, and if you value your fingerprints, let them cool a bit before removing the toothpicks. Let's finish this up with Step 4, let's eat. As always, we start with our chips. Next, I want to add some of the tomato and some of the toasted bread. Squeeze on the mayo, and finish with our fresh lettuce. Now, you might assume that cameraman would claim first bite for himself, but as much as he loves bacon, he hates chunks of tomatoes. So Oldson has decided to throw himself on this grenade. He even went back for seconds trying to save us all from the horror that is bacon chips. These were awesome, guys. I highly recommend you try them. Well, that's all for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, give it a like and please consider subscribing if you want to see more nacho videos. If you have an idea for a future video, you can leave a comment below or tag me on the site previously known as Twitter. I'm at NachoProblemsYT. I've also linked my Blue Sky below, but you won't find me on Facebook, Instagram, or Threads. If you're looking to steal my apron, well, that's nacho merch, but you can get your own at a link in the description. Now, I've got to start making treats for my annual Halloween party, which always involves a game called Truffle Roulette. But, unless you're the poor soul who gets salmon mousse instead of strawberry cream, that's not your problem. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.